First, I want you to go to Google. Type in RTings and click on the first site. Once you're there, click on Camera Reviews from the Reviews section at the top. After scrolling down, you'll see two options in the Tools section: Compare Camera and Table Tool. These two tools will be your most useful resources when buying a camera. You'll spend most of your time here. But first, we need to use the Table Tool to have a few camera models in mind. I'm clicking on the Table Tool. Here, you'll see camera models, and next to them, there are scores in colored boxes. These scores indicate the ratings the camera models on the left receive, ranging from 0 to 10, based on usage areas such as travel photography, vlogging, and studio video. You need to pay attention to these scores according to your needs when buying a camera. For instance, if I'm looking for a camera to shoot videos in the studio for my YouTube channel, I need to choose a camera with a high studio video score. Or if I'm interested in travel photography, I need a camera with a high score in that area. To do this, if I click on the desired area, the cameras will be sorted from high score to low score, or vice versa. Let's try to select a camera together for studio video shoots. But before choosing the camera, there's something I'd like to mention. I often receive feedback from you all about how effectively I can explain complex topics. First of all, thank you. The thing is, researching and fact-checking these topics can really take a long time. But believe it or not, having a tool like today's sponsor, Opera, really makes my job easier. Opera already stands out with its features. It also offers services such as built-in free VPN and ad blocking, helping me to browse secure and without being distracted by ads. But lately, the feature I've been using the most is Aria, Opera's built-in artificial intelligence. Opera excels in this aspect compared to other browsers because Aria awaits you in the sidebar, where you can access many of the browser's features. Aria provides more than simple grammar checks. It basically allows me to ask questions in areas requiring alternative perspectives, such as video introductions and conclusions. This helps me to focus on the details. Because although Aria provides me a great baseline for my video scripts, I usually try to go above and beyond what it provides. The best part is being able to instantly change the style of the script I've spent a long time writing without changing the content. This is because I often work with a particular project for several weeks, and changes in storytelling can occur without my notice. This is important because if I start to go too much in detail on a subject, you might not be able to keep up with me. I sometimes use Aria's quick explanation feature to simplify complex topics or compose alternative versions for the explanations of the topic that I'm talking about. When Opera's unique features like Aria, tab islands, and built-in VPN come together, it offers you an experience that you won't easily find elsewhere, both in desktop and mobile. Check out the link in the description to try out these features and download the Opera browser. Now, where did we leave off? We were going to select a camera for studio video shoots. When I double-click here, I can see the camera models with the highest studio video scores. Here, I need to choose the camera model with the highest studio video score that fits my budget. The top 3 models exceed my budget, but I found models below them that are within my budget. So what if I found a few models within my budget but want more detailed information about them? Or how can I find out why the studio video score of this camera model is so high? Let's take a look at the Canon EOS R8, for example. To get more information about the camera, I click on the model name, which directs me to the model page. Here, after scrolling down a bit, I can see the pros and cons of the camera according to its usage areas. For example, one of the cons for studio video seems to be weak battery life. From this, I understand that after purchasing this camera, I'll need to get spare batteries or a battery grip. When I want more detailed information about the camera, I can scroll down to access this information. Alternatively, I can click on the desired section from the table of contents on the side to view the information in that area. For example, from the video section, I can learn that this camera can shoot 4K 60 FPS without cropping, can shoot in 422 10-bit, and that its autofocus performance is rated highly based on the score in the top left corner, along with many other details. This way I can form a list of several models in my mind. But can I trust these scores? Is RTings really a reliable review site? First of all, let me say this. When you look at YouTube videos for camera model recommendations, many of them will suggest models that brands have paid them to promote. Additionally, these individuals haven't had the chance to experience all the cameras available in the market, so they don't have the opportunity to recommend any model to you. As you can imagine, this is impossible. On the other hand, RTings purchases these camera models themselves and can rate them freely. So when Artings assign scores to cameras based on their features, they're not under any brand pressure. They review them completely objectively. For this reason, I can definitely say that you can trust this site. Before buying a camera, you can resolve any doubts that come to your mind through Artings reviews. The only thing you need to be aware of is that some camera models may not be found on this site. The only model that caught my attention in this regard was the Sony A7S III. It's a high-end camera that can shoot videos at incredible values like 4K 120 FPS, and it's quite talked about in the camera market. However, I found it strange that its review is not available on this site. But other than that, I didn't notice any missing models. Now let's return to our selection of a camera for studio video. Based on my research and budget, I really like the Canon EOS R8, but I'm left confused between the R8 and the R7 model. Both fit my budget, but I don't know the differences between them. What should I do? For this, we need to use the second tool I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the Compare Cameras tool. With this tool, I can compare any two camera models I want. For example, let's compare the EOS R8 and R7 models we just talked about and see the differences between them. Actually, if you've noticed, even from the first section, I can more or less understand the differences between them. For example, there's a difference in sensor sizes between the two cameras. While the Canon EOS R7 has an APS-C sensor, the EOS R8 model has a full-frame sensor. I love to explain what APS-C and full frame mean. They are very important, but this would take time. I'll explain that to you in another video where I go into more detail. Just know this. If I have lenses compatible with APS-C, I won't be able to use them on the full-frame R8 model. I'll either have to sell my lenses or get an adapter for them. Anyway, apart from that, I can look at more detailed comparisons by scrolling down or using the Table of Contents section on the left. Since we're looking for a camera model for studio video, let's take a look at the video section. I've learned that both cameras can shoot 4K 60 FPS uncropped video. This is fantastic news. Usually, in cameras of this kind, the camera's image processor doesn't have the processing power to simultaneously handle high resolution and high frame rates. As a result, to reduce the amount of image data to be processed, a crop is applied to the image, which leads to the video having a narrower field of view than it should. However, this isn't the case for these two camera models. Both cameras can shoot uncropped video at 4K 60 FPS, which is very impressive as you can imagine. Additionally, both cameras can shoot video in 422 10-bit, which is also excellent. However, when I looked at the video tests a bit further down, I noticed that the low-light video performance of the R7 model seemed to be slightly worse. This is likely due to the sensor size difference I mentioned earlier. The R8 model has a full-frame sensor, which means it has a larger sensor and can gather more light. This results in better video performance with less of the noise we're accustomed to seeing in low-light environments. Furthermore, when I scroll down a bit more, I noticed that in 4K video rolling shutter, the R7 has slightly less rolling shutter effect than the R8. This is indeed a very slight but important advantage for the R7. However, apart from their sensors, there isn't a significant difference between the two cameras. Both cameras have sufficient inputs and outputs, autofocus performance, video resolution, and FPS. However, there's one thing left regarding video performance: IBIS. So what is IBIS? IBIS, or in-body image stabilization, as the name suggests, helps reduce vibrations and shakes by moving the sensor to prevent potential blurring in the image, enabling you to capture clear photos and smooth videos. We used to achieve this with the optic image stabilization feature in modern lenses. You might also notice this tech in your smartphone camera as well. But now, with new generation cameras equipped with IBIS, we can capture clearer photos and less shaky videos. The IBIS information on Artings is found in the Photo section. We can find out if this important feature for video is available on the camera from the Photo Image Stabilization section in Photo General. As we can see from this section, this feature is only available in the R7 model and not in the R8. So, in conclusion, due to the APS-C sensor and IBIS advantage, the EOS R7 model seems more suitable for sport and wildlife photography, use cases where you need extra stabilization, while the R8, with its full-frame sensor, appears to be more suitable for other photography areas and video shooting where it can use better sensor. Since I'm looking for a camera for my video shoots, I prefer the R8 model. By the way, this is the camera I actually use for my channel. Although I haven't been able to fully showcase the video quality yet since the background isn't real, I'm quite satisfied with the camera. It more than meets my needs. We'll soon see the video quality of the camera in product reviews. By the way, what do you think about product review videos? What would you like me to review for you? Also, don't forget to share your thoughts. Would you like me to explain the cameras more deeply? Alright, let's finish the video slowly. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button. If not, feel free to dislike. Stay mysterious until the next video. Take care, and bye.